So I want you guys to repeat after me if you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But say, I am worthy of every single breath I take.
I'm worthy of every single breath I take.
And I can really think about it and mean it. I am worthy of every single breath I take.
I am worthy of every single breath I take.
See, if you told me this when I was about 9, maybe 10 years old when I came to America, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have said, no, not really, I don't think so, because people in my life gave up on me. My mother gave up on me, but my father, he found a way out, right? And he created a life for us that we were able to grow from. And at a young age, I felt unworthy of love. I felt unworthy of feeling accomplished. I felt unworthy of being me. I felt unworthy of every breath I took. And it doesn't really hit you that one parent doing something, or one parent not being there, really affects the child's life and as they grow up to be adults. And this, my story, it's not a sad one. I mean, maybe it is a little bit, but it's about I learned and I accepted love for myself, and I grew as a person, and I learned how to love myself. I learned to grow the love that I never had from the person that I thought was most important from, but yet I had my grandmother, which God blessed me with, and my father who loved me like nothing. He loved me like I was like gold, and he was a poor man. And I really appreciated him, and he has a heart of gold, and he gave me that heart. And sometimes I think I do stuff, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done. That's too nice of me. But then I'm just like, you know what? Maybe they need it. They need it. They need it more than me, maybe. Who knows? But for me to get my emotions out, writing is my safe place. I write to escape. I write to let things out. I write to, because sometimes when you're nice people, if you can relate, you don't say stuff out, but in your head, it's moving. So I write stuff to get it out of my head, so I'm not frustrated. So I got the storytelling with poetry from my grandmother, who is, she's a beautiful soul. I love her. But she taught me that if somebody touches you, you can fight back. Like, she taught me resilience, she taught me to be strong, she told me not to give up, and she told me that love comes from within you. You cannot receive from anybody else. If your mother did not love you, if your mother did not love you, you cannot grow from that. You have to love yourself and then grow from within that. Love comes from you. You have a heart that contains so much, because you can love your neighbors, you can love your husband, you love your kids, so you can love yourself, because love comes from within you, not from, it can come from them. But if someone tells you you're beautiful, do you really believe them if you can't really believe it in your head? If every day you're waking up and you're thinking, I'm ugly, I'm unworthy of love, and someone tells you you're worthy of love, are you going to really believe that? You won't. You'll be like, oh, yeah, you're saying that because, we're family or we're related. But really, if you love yourself, every single morning you wake up and you say, I am worthy of every single breath I take, and I can accomplish anything I put my mind to, and nobody can tell me anything, because I'm alive for a reason. I'm alive. I was born, right? I was not here one day, the next day I was here, so nobody for a reason. Okay, so I want to read out my piece, and please excuse my voice, because I'm not sick, I just can't sing. Okay. Malaika, nakupenda malaika. Malaika, ninakupenda malaika. Ningekuoa malaika, ningekuoa udada. Today, breath covers your lungs, every inch of you like small particles. Breathe. Prepare a table filled with envelopes of I love yous. Seal them with kisses and seal it upon fire hot enough to burn you clean. Smell the way flesh burns like rubber. This love comes with wounded soldiers heavy enough to call a village. It escapes without signs of struggles. It showed itself without notice, evicted this emptiness and welcomed itself home. Malaika, nakupenda malaika, nashindwa na hadithi nawe, ninakupenda malaika. It is 4 in the morning when the family rooster stood on the brick wall separating the market from home. It crowed 3 times. It came with warning signs bright enough to capture your attention, the presence of flame, claiming this land as its own. It scraped skin deep enough to call battle wounds sin so heavy that Sodom and Gomorrah cannot compare. My grandmother is a storyteller by heart. She would always start off her stories the same, with lyrical symphonies and a handful of arthritis. She would always tell stories of love, of joy, and happy endings, but never about death. This time, I want to tell a story of my own, of how my people's flesh are fertile bombs, how death loves my people. This time, I would say, Duri Duri Jedan, and you respond, Jedan Jedan. This is a story of how death moonwalks across our living room, how it substitutes itself with the living. You see, death fell in love with my grandfather's footsteps and decided to make it his own. And I can't remember how many of our people were lost, or their names, but I remember seeing bodies piled up this high. How the great pit always had enough room for one more body. I remember the way death invited my people to a tea party. The way they tripped over our ancestors' bones, afraid to decline the offer. You see, death is a 5-letter word. An empty home, a lifeless page of a diary written in blood, an avalanche devouring anything in its path. I am borrowing these 5-letter words. See, we have carried heavy stones, watched it leave holes deep enough to call home our mothers with volcanoes ready to erupt. I'm sorry. Perhaps we forgot that we were once children, carried in the womb our mothers, or volcanoes ready to erupt. And yeah, that's how it ends. So, yeah.